Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devil Show, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, even leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. I'm Anthony Mann.
Yeah, you are.
As always on this Freaky Friday by Shane Diefenbach, Shawn DePod.
Yeah, he is.
Friday. It's a victory Friday.
It is Victory Friday.
First of many.
First of many. If you guys got the post-game show last night, Arizona State just absolutely dominating NAU, really from start to finish. 40-3 was the final score. Guys, I would just like to say my score prediction was the closest. We didn't talk about it last night, but my score prediction was the closest. I had 38-10. It was 40-3. Just saying.
I did have 41, so my ASU performance was the closest. And that's what really matters here.
Oh, yeah. You had NAU scoring like 16 points, didn't you?
Yeah, but we all had them scoring at least double-digit points, so I don't know what you want from me there.
Whatever. Better. That's all I want. I just want you to be better. Talking about we'll get into the takeaways here from ASU's victory. I think the thing that stood out to me, and I didn't realize it until it was tweeted out a little bit. Shout out Doug, great stuff he does. But the defensive performance was pretty historic last night from ASU. Defensive performance like that, a couple of seasons since actually the last 4 defensive performances from Arizona State. This ranks number 4. 36 in terms of total yards allowed by the defense. They gave up 120. The other 3 performances were, one was in 2007 where they gave up 115 to San Jose State. Then Iowa in 2004, they gave up 100. And then just an absolutely ridiculous performance in 2009 where they only had 7 total yards to Idaho State. Last night's defensive performance ranks among the best. Guys, is that something that's expected last night?
Of course, we expected that. I mean, it's NAU. If you're allowing more than 150 and 200 yards total, I think it's kind of like could have been better. It's not exactly like, yes, I expect them to hold this team under 150 yards, but it's also, it doesn't surprise me whatsoever. So, yeah, I'm really glad that the defense wasn't lacking. Nothing really crazily special, I'd say, other than the DJ Taylor play that he made for to get who intercepted that again?
I don't remember.
Oh, Totri's gone.
Totri's gone. To answer his question, though, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I expected them to have a historic defensive performance, especially because I didn't know what to expect from the defense.
Mm-hmm. Chris Edmonds,
but
jeez.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised. Like, if you had told me before the game that they were going to have like a historic defensive performance, I'd be like, okay, like it's NAU. I think I would have been a little surprised just because, like I said, I didn't know what to expect from the defense. But it's not like they're doing this against Oklahoma State, right? Like, if you told me they had a historic defensive performance against that team, I'd be like,
yeah, that would surprise me, especially after
that would definitely be
points.
Surprising. Yeah. So, yeah. But it's good, right? It's kind of what we've all been saying. Like, that's what you wanted. That's what you hoped for, is them to dominate NAU. And that's exactly what they did. So
I think we have Totri back now.
Sorry, guys. The tractor. I apologize.
The tractor got you?
The tractor got you.
Any better?
Your mic is still really jacked up.
Is it really jacked up?
No.
Okay.
It'll lumberjack out sometimes. But it's okay. we can try to keep going.
Okay. You guys roll on with the takeaways and let me see what I can do. I'll be back.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Yeah. So we talked about a good amount last night. Obviously we talked about the defense a good amount. Kyle Soley almost having 2 interceptions would have been nice. I think the linebackers played great. Obviously we talked about Merlin bringing the juice, but in terms of the defense as one unit, not separating the front 7 and the secondary, do you think this is going to be enough against Oklahoma State, or do you need to see more pressure, more takeaways, more what?
It's tough because like they didn't do anything wrong defensively, but I do think you'll have to make some bigger plays. I think like more pressure to the quarterback, few sacks, and obviously they did have a couple of takeaways, but kind of maintaining that against a much better opponent and a quarterback who throws the hell out of the ball. He's throwing the ball hard.
I can.
So if you can force him into mistakes, then I think that offense might just fall apart. So you definitely have to, like I said, it was a great performance defensively, but you got to do one more. You got to turn it up another notch. I think if you want to beat the team like Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I think pressure needs to get home. I was surprised that I don't know if it was just the blitz packages or kind of how they were scheming NAU. Maybe they didn't want to try to do too much, but I feel like quarterback pressure stats were not as high as you would expect against a lowly defensive line like NAU would be. So maybe more pressure, I would say. But again, it's just game planning. I'm definitely excited to see what the game plan is going to look like against Oklahoma State. Plus, they watched their film because there were a couple times in that game where they saw the formation and Merlin or Sully would kind of point at somebody. And I saw it one time on a screen pass, a bubble screen. Before the ball was even snapped, they pointed at the receiver that was going to catch the ball, and they kind of swarmed to it. And then Totri swarmed back in, I think. So let's see if we got him. Totri, how we doing?
I don't know. How are we doing? Does it sound any better than what the blue mic?
Yes, we're all good.
Okay.
We're all good.
Not cutting out, so we'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all we'll take. I love it. Absolutely love it. Damn, Isaiah, I don't get a hi? That's unlucky.
Well, you weren't here.
Yeah, that's
when
fair.
he talked
I'm always lurking around. You'll always find me somewhere. I'm like Swiper from Dora. It's just like you never see me coming, and then I'm there.
Yeah, so we just covered the defense.
Except in Dora, you literally always see him coming.
Mm-hmm. True.
Okay, Shawn. Thank you.
I'm just saying.
No, I appreciate it. It's whatever. Have you guys gotten to the student section yet?
We have not.
No.
Okay, well, let's talk about that because I brought it up in the post-game show last night, just being there, seeing what the crowd was like. But it was a historic crowd, 13,000 strong, just in the student section alone. One of the best student sections that ASU has actually ever had at Sun Devil Stadium, and one of the best home openers that they've ever had. Guys, what was it like? I know the rest of the stadium wasn't necessarily a huge thing, but to have a fan base, specifically the student section, come out in full force the way they did last night, what do you think that does for the team moving forward, knowing that they kind of got that backing, at least in week one?
Well, it's not only is it good that they came out in full force, it's good that they came out in full force and saw that performance because now you're gonna bring them back. Look, I think the players probably understand that this was a game against NAU and they weren't expecting much, but when they saw the students there, they got fired up. Hopefully not a lot of fans outside of the student section deterred them. But I wouldn't expect it just because of what the situation is. And I definitely think more fans will come for these Pac-12 games that will inevitably start at 9:45 p.m.
Yeah. I mean, I think having even if the general populace doesn't show, having the students there, it's just it can't hurt, right? Like it's hard to say exactly how much of an impact it has on the players, but that they at least can see that they have people behind them, and 13,000 people, like even though they're packed into one section like that, they can make some noise. So like I think having a loud crowd also serves to benefit them, and I think if that kind of gets balanced out by the rest of the stadium when they're playing conference opponents, I think it's a recipe for success. Obviously, like you said, them getting to see a game like last night hopefully keeps students coming back, and then like I said, once it gets to more meaningful games, everyone else shows up too. But I feel like you got to be happy as a player to see. I mean, your peers, right? Like your classmates to a certain extent, to see them show up and support you. I feel like it's got to give you at least a little bit of a boost.
Do you think you get more for Eastern Michigan?
More. It depends on what happens in the
not.
Oklahoma State game.
Yeah,
I think if they beat Oklahoma State, then yes, I think people will start getting excited about the team. If not, I don't think you'll really see an uptick until conference play.
Yeah, I mean that game against Utah is going to be nuts. September 24th. Yeah. That's going to be insane.
That USC game is here too, isn't it? Right?
No, the USC game's on the road.
It's on the road. Okay, then
Yeah.
that Utah game will be their biggest Pac-12 opponent, obviously in Tempe. So
It'll be
I mean,
the biggest Pac-12 opponent. I think that's the number one team in the Pac-12, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get a little bit of a taste with kind of what's going on with the Pac-12 after tomorrow, which will be interesting. Is there any other Pac-12 games that you guys are looking forward to tomorrow, other than watching Arizona get stomped by SDSU?
Obviously, Oregon.
Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, I think Oregon covers that game. Honestly, I think they cover 17 points. I'm really excited to watch that game.
Florida,
doesn't Colorado play somebody weird?
They play tonight. They play TCU.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm just excited to see how bad they are.
Ugly.
Just comparatively, because apparently we're in the same fucking tier. So Colorado and ASU. I know ASU played NAU, and who are they playing? TCU.
Yeah,
TCU. Yeah,
TCU is not NAU, but I'm just excited to see what their offense looks like. See what our tier of offense is, because clearly our tier wasn't good last night, and we'll see what the direct competitor of our standings with ASU will look like. And Colorado is that football team that's going to be on ASU's level. So I'm really excited to see them play tonight.
Dude, people are weird, man. People are so weird. Like, I saw on Twitter, literally last night, there was another media outlet that had posted just like, what are your thoughts on the game? And like, somebody's first response was embarrassing. And like, the other comments were like, you're embarrassed because ASU won 40-3. Like, I'm confused. Like, what are you embarrassed about? And he's like, oh, well, like the offense didn't look too technical. There wasn't a lot going on. Like, bro, that was the point. The whole point was to whoop NAU's ass without having to show too much of the playbook ahead of the Oklahoma State game. They did exactly what they wanted to do. What do you mean it's embarrassing? Like, I'm just so confused. Yeah. Like, you can never win. You can never win.
And also putting up 40 points without using your entire playbook. Like, how are you embarrassed by that? That's
the best part, because my favorite part of the night was the one of the only creative things they showed. A lot of read options, which that's not showing anything. Like, obviously this team's going to run read options, but I think the first offensive play of the game, the design rollout for Emory Jones, we talked about this on the show last night, that fires me up, because that type of play is something that if you can get that going, it is really hard to stop, because it is an RPO. It causes the defense to shift. You're flooding everything to the right. That's when you can do that a couple times in a game and take a deep shot. It's almost like setting up the run, but you're setting up the contain of Emory Jones. It's so exciting. And if you're doing that play one against NAU, you're just teasing me a little bit. It fires me up.
Yeah, I mean, there was one thing that I didn't necessarily expect. Like, I knew Emory was fast, right? We'd seen video, we'd seen tape of Emory. I didn't realize his burst. That dude can go 0 to 100 like super, super quick. I would argue that he's got a faster burst in a shorter period of time than any of the running backs on the roster. He can move just simply that fast, which I think is super impressive. And it's going to be, interesting to see what this team is able to do against Oklahoma State, a team in Oklahoma State that gave up so many points to just a bad Central Michigan team.
I have a really bad nickname if you guys want to hear it. We can call Emory Jones. We can call Emory Jones the Tesla, because he's electric and he goes 0 to 60 really fast.
Tesla's not a terrible man, to be honest. I still like Emory.
Emory is great.
A good one. Emory is great. Oh my goodness. Talking to Ngata, and this will be the last of the takeaways. Like, Ngata was obviously bummed he didn't get into the end zone. He talked about how he wanted to see more from the run game, which is interesting considering that the run game felt like it was just unstoppable, especially with Xavier in there. Xavier with 116 total rush yards on the night, 7.7 yards per carry. All the running backs, even a guy like Charles Hall, he had his one run that went for 20 yards. Emory had a great night. Like, it's just that run game is exactly what we thought it was going to be. And it was interesting to hear Herm post-game talk about the run game, but specifically Ngata. He talked about Ngata's burst and his speed and just the way he plays. And he's like, literally, Herm was like, I don't know, man. Like when I closed my eyes, it kind of felt like, somebody else was out there, like, and obviously alluding to Rashad White. He's like, he looked like somebody else, like a guy that was here last year. And like, I don't know, like, I feel like he's got that potential. I think we saw what this running back duo can be. It's going to be something special. And, talking about Xavier, he was one of the 4 players who was up for the first People's Player of the Game. Put it to social. If you guys didn't see it, if you didn't get a chance to vote, you can go check out the poll. It was Xavier, Emery, Merlin, and Kyle Soley. The votes actually were pretty close when it came down to Xavier and Emery. 2 guys, their first night in Tempe in Sun Devil Stadium was nice to see. But ultimately, Xavier Valade ended up winning the first People's Player of the Game, 15 total carries on the night, 116 rush yards. Mentioned that 7.7 yards per carry, 2 rush touchdowns. Guys, before we move on, just how good can Xavier be in maroon and gold?
Really damn good, man.
You could be that guy.
Yeah.
Him, Xavier.
Oh my God.
Like, it's obviously hard to say. And I understand to an extent, I guess, like in Gada's frustrations about wanting to see the rushing game do more. Like, I feel like there were a few like individual rush attempts throughout the game where it was like, if they had just read this right or cut inside or something like that, they could have broken it. But otherwise, like the rushing attack was very effective. I think Xavier could be one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in the Pac-12 at the end of the year. Like we'd said it on the post-game show last night. Like I knew he was good, right? But hadn't watched a whole lot of Wyoming football. His explosiveness when he does get a hole and he just turns up field, like it's impressive. And then also to just have a 1-2 punch in general. They talked about it a lot on the broadcast. Like when you're playing in Arizona, in Phoenix, and it's 100 degrees, to have 2 running backs that can be super effective when one guy is getting tired and not have to run one guy into the ground, like that is an asset in and of itself that a lot of teams might not have.
Yeah.
So I think the rushing game is going to be maybe even more impressive than I had expected.
And then Gada looked really fast, really fast, getting to the edge. So that's really exciting. But it's interesting. They mentioned it a lot of times in the program. Obviously, ASU, a huddle offense. They rarely speed it up, which I enjoy. But how fun would it be if there was a team like ASU? What?
Going no huddle? I was just being like, I can't even imagine this shit would be electric.
Well, how fun would it be if not only no huddle, but a power run offense, no huddle, where you're swapping running backs out? The offensive line would die, but can you imagine just
Navy?
4 yards in a cloud of dust? Yeah, Navy, exactly. But completely huddle up 3 yards. All right, come on, let's get to the line. Go 3 more yards. That's just hilarious. That'd be so funny.
Yeah,
the running game is really good, and we'll see what it looks like against a real opponent next week in Stillwater. But for now, it's exciting. There are a lot of big holes.
Is it a real opponent? I mean, I love Oklahoma State's offense, but their defense is abysmal. It's not good. I mean, like they might as well put us out there. It's not a good defense.
It's not terrible. Like people see how many points they gave up to Central Michigan and say that is so bad. That's incredible. CMU has a really good offense. That quarterback was great yesterday. 2 days. Yesterday. 2 days ago. Yesterday.
No,
yesterday. Yeah, that quarterback was really good yesterday. So, it's Maction. I know it's a joke, but it's actually their offenses are pretty solid. Like I'm not even playing around. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's still a better defense than NAU, 100%. So that's gonna be a test. Fair.
I love it, man. I love it. We already joked yesterday. Whatever the total is, bet the under. Because that's the type of game where the total is just astronomical, and everyone's riding off the fact that ASU just scored 40 and Oklahoma State scored 50 something. Like, take the under. It's probably not set, but whatever it is, hammer the under. College football's back. NFL football is right around the corner. I can't wait for that. And you guys can get ready for NFL Week 1 action by downloading the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code PHNX to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on any football game. That's code PHNX, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for more details. Guys, obviously this is a college football show. We all love the NFL. Do you guys have any NFL jitters, your guys' teams? Shane, I know your team's in a little bit different situation than Shawn and I.
What are you talking about?
The Cardinals are definitely in a different situation than the Chargers and the
Cardinals are
Bulls.
gonna be
Because Cardinals aren't as good as either of our teams.
Yeah. What do you think, Shawn?
I am nervous.
Stepping up to the plate week 1 against the Super Bowl champ.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about it. I think the Bills are the best team in football, but I'm a little nervous about it because it is the Rams. You got to see, Trey White's not playing. Got to see what they do with Cooper Kupp, and like, I'm a little nervous, but I know I feel comfortable. I feel okay. I feel okay.
Does it worry you that they're the betting favorite? Like at all for
Yes.
you? Like, does that play a role that they are the betting favorite? It does bug you a little bit.
It just worries me that they're like almost unanimously the Super Bowl favorite. Like that concerns me because this is still the Buffalo Bills. I just don't know. It just seems like something's going to go wrong, but you never know. Fingers crossed. We'll see.
Hey man, it's going to be fun. Like we said, college football's back. NFL football is also on the way, and there is no better place to bet on it than with the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Guys, there was some other major news today, of course, outside of national media, just absolutely giving ASU all the love and attention that it rightfully deserves after beating NAU. I know that was all over ESPN last night and probably this morning. But the college, yeah, I made it funny. College football playoff is set to be expanded. All the talks, all the jokes, the memes, the what ifs in previous seasons can kind of put them to rest because Pete Thamel reporting this morning that the College Football Playoff Board unanimously approved a 12-team expansion beginning once the current contract ends in 2026. We'll get to some of the nitty-gritty details of it because there are some interesting things. But just right off the bat, what was your guys' initial reaction to seeing that it will eventually be a 12-team playoff?
Why not just do 6 first? I don't know. I think 12 is way too many. But
really?
Okay. I said this on TPSP and I said this on Bets. This is the third time I've talked about this today. But I think that I was always such a this is horseshit. I hate the voting thing. And then it was changed to the CFP. I was like, this is cool. And then after 2 years, it was like, okay, I understand the frustration, but where more can you go? Because like before they had the CFP, I was like, there should be a tournament. There should be NFL style playoffs. And then you kind of see it and you're like, okay, there's really only 3 teams that deserve it every year. And it's not like the NFL where there's going to be upsets. Like you have to get through, like, let's say Cincinnati beats Bama last year. There's no way they're doing that again against Georgia because what they did had to be really special. And then it's not like the NFL where a team like the Bengals can make a Super Bowl run because they just have these explosive players. That doesn't happen in college football. So, like, yeah, you might get a couple upsets in the first round, but it's not really going to do anything. That's why I think 6 teams or 8 teams or 6 teams or 10 teams would be better than 12 because then you get a bye. You get the first 2 teams to get a bye. I don't want to see Alabama against UCF. Like, please spare me of that. So 12, I think, is too many. I think I'm going to watch them. It's going to be fun, but I think going from 4 to 12 is pretty drastic.
Yeah, I mean, 12. I think ultimately, I was also a proponent of 6. I think that was always kind of my thought on it. But I like 12. I don't really see any negatives with it, only because, like, sure, there may be only 3 teams that actually have a chance. Probably only really 2. I mean, if you look at last year, Michigan was terrible. Cincinnati was better against Alabama than Michigan was against Georgia. But like, I think you now get better games beyond the 1-2. Like the 1-12 is not going to be interesting, right? But like I said, Michigan was not good in the college football playoff. If there was 12 teams last year, they would have played Utah. That's an interesting game. I think Utah.
Yeah.
I think Utah.
Go ahead.
No, I think Utah it was better than of the 11th best team in the country. Obviously, when you lose 3 times, that is what happens. But like, I think you'll get more good football games because that 1-12 and 1-4 games are either way. It's usually terrible. So beyond that, I think you get more games. And yeah, I mean, inevitably, you're probably going to get the same champion anyways. But you get more good football. So I think it's good for the fans in that sense. It's good for the teams because more teams have an opportunity to make a playoff, even if they do, like we talked about with Oklahoma State on TPSP, an inch away from making the college football playoff. Like that, they snake it in this situation, and then we know, right? We know if Oklahoma State is one of the best 4 teams in the country.
Anything to get rid of more bowl games, I am for.
Yeah.
If this gets rid of more bowl games, thank God. They mean nothing. I hate them.
I'm here for it.
It's more meaningful football. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to clarify, it would be rare. I think you would see a 1 versus 12 because in this format, the first 4 teams, I believe, get a bye. So you wouldn't necessarily have 1v12. Obviously, if 12 were to win that first week, then kind of like Shane said, we'll see if they can replicate that success versus one of the better teams in the country the following week. I think the only issue, and this was the only issue with me at 6, right, is you assume that 5 teams, each conference winner gets a bid in a 6-team playoff, right? And then the 6th spot is an at-large spot, which you could argue would either go A, to the SEC's next best team, or would go to Notre Dame, because Notre Dame's not going to get a 1 through 5 spot.
I don't think 6 would...
I'm saying that was one of the issues with 6.
But I don't think that's what it should have been. I don't think that's what it would have been. I don't think they would have agreed upon that if that was it. But I agree with what you're saying. Like that's not my idea of a 16 playoff. My idea is of a 16 playoff. So you take the top 6 teams in the NCAA like it should be. Fucking large bid.
Yeah. I don't think
I agree with that, but I don't think the conferences could get behind that. I don't think all the conferences would get behind that.
Well, even if it was an at-large bid, I think in practice it would also, or even if there weren't, I think ultimately in practice it would be the 5 Power 5 conference champions and then an at-large. Because
not the Pac-12 last year with 3 losses.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. Is that's why the Pac-12 would never. The Pac-12 would never be on board for a 1 through 6 best available, best teams go, because they'd never get
at this point.
Like
I don't give a shit what the Pac-12 thinks. They're a dead conference anyway. Who cares?
Oh God, hey, you're not wrong. But so just to get into some of the details of what this 12-team playoff will eventually look like, again, starting in 2026. So these are just some of the takeaways. So the first round games will not have title or presenting sponsors, and existing venue signage will remain in place. The college football playoff will control the video boards. The 12 teams will be the 6 conference champions, ranked highest by the selection committee, no minimum ranking requirement, plus the 6 highest ranked teams not included among the 6 highest ranked conference champions. The ranking of the teams will continue to be done by a selection committee whose size, composition, and method of selection will remain substantially unchanged. A management committee will modify the selection protocol as required by the change to the playoff structure. The 4 highest ranked conference champions will be seeded 1 through 4, and each will receive a first round bye. So kind of going to what you said, Shawn, it would be rare that you would see a 1-12 matchup, especially in that first round. It just wouldn't happen. The other 8 teams will play in the first round, with the higher seeds hosting the lower seeds either on campus or at other sites designated by the higher seeded institution. That's something that is super electric to me, is you could have you'll have a 5 seed hosting a 12 seed. Like, it's going to be absolutely, it's just going to be madness. And one of my buddies texted me, who, again, take a shot, like, is a big Notre Dame fan. Like, eventually the elements come into play. You have Notre Dame slotted at number 5, number 6, playing in January or late December against a team like, maybe it's a Florida team, or maybe it's a team from the West Coast. Like, okay, now the elements are involved. You're playing in 3 degrees. It's snowing outside. Like, I just think it's going to be fun for college football to have some of these big time games at like home sites.
Does Notre Dame get shafted then? But if they're the number 1 team, do they still not get a bye because they didn't win they didn't win a conference?
I believe that is how it works.
That is crazy.
So
can you imagine them going undefeated?
That's always what I have been. That's always kind of been the holdup with the automatic bids, right? Because Notre Dame can't get that. I wonder what that means, though, right? Because Notre Dame does not agree to this if it fucks them over that badly.
Yeah, 100%, and especially with their athletic director is a big proponent of. He was a big proponent of expansion. I believe he's on the expansion committee.
Yeah. The expansion committee is a commissioner from the Power 5 or every conference, I think, and Notre Dame. I'm pretty sure is how it's set up. But I wonder if that means at some point we'll hear something about them going to a conference, because I don't know why they would agree to this otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. It's something that we won't really have to worry about till 2026. last little tidbit I do want to read from this is subject to reaching agreement with bowls, the 4 highest ranked conference champions will be assigned to quarterfinal bowls on selection day in ranking order, and in consideration of current contract bowl relations, if those bowls are selected for the rotation. For example, if the Pac-12 champion were ranked number 1, which not going to happen in our lifetime, the Big Ten champion were ranked number 3, and the Rose Bowl were a quarterfinal site, the Pac-12 champion would be assigned to the Rose Bowl, and the Big Ten champion would be assigned elsewhere. So that's something that I think, I personally like seeing, like, that they're going to at least keep that part of those major bowl games kind of together, that, you'll still see a Pac-12 champion in the Rose Bowl. That's something that I'm glad is not changing. Any final thoughts on college football playoff expansion?
What does this do for conferences now? What does this do? See, this is why I'm really disgruntled about this. This is why this morning I kind of was like, ugh, because you're making plans for, I just had to look at the date, for 4 years from now, when you have no idea what conferences are going to look like. People are jumping ship all the time. In 2030, you might not have a Power 5. Like, does that make, am I being crazy? Like, how are you catering to this idea without understanding that the Pac-12 might die?
Well, I feel like you still have to. You still have to assume there are going to be at least 4 conferences. A, B, I think this helps stop conference, like help slow down the movement, right? Because now if you are Washington and Oregon, right, schools that have been rumored to go to the Big Ten, why would you do that now? If your ultimate goal is to win a conference football playoff, it's to get to the conference football playoff and then eventually win the national championship, you have a significantly harder time doing that in the Big Ten now than you would if you stay in the Pac-12 and you win a championship. Because if you win a championship, you're basically guaranteed to make the college football playoff. So I completely agree. The teams that haven't left yet, sure, but this isn't a matter of keeping teams in your conference. It's about a matter of making money. And the Pac-12
it's never been about
the Pac-12 is on fire right now. The vault is empty. Like, you need to find a way to benefit off of this, and you need to bring in some revenue teams. Like, you need to bring in some revenue schools, because without that, you're just the Pac-10 that is hoping and praying that Utah is good enough to get a bye. Like, I don't know.
And not leave.
And not leave. So, yeah, I agree, Shawn. It does help, but at the end of the day, the biggest problem is they don't have money. And how is this going to help them have money? They need an exclusive deal, and until then, who knows?
Yeah.
No,
college football is always. This is like at one point everyone thought the forward pass was going to ruin college football. Like, I feel like things change and everyone gets worried, but every time it's fine. Like, and literally every time it's fine. Everyone was worried when the BCS got here. It worked for a while. Everyone was worried about the college football playoff. That worked fine. Like, I'll worry once college football stops existing.
Well, but that's not the same situation now. It was the Pac-10 is becoming the Pac-12, and then it was there's a college football playoff. People were excited about that, and this has nothing to do with the Pac-12. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, does this have a chance to save the Pac-12? Like, put everything we learned aside about 2026. Like, all I'm saying is, like, is the Pac-12 going to be able to survive until then? And it's not a matter of new changes. Like, there is reason to believe that the Pac-12 is in danger. I'm not starting a fire out of nowhere. Like, we know it's not in a good spot right now. I'm just begging the question: will the Pac-12 be able to keep their head above water for a couple of years while this is happening?
It's like you said, the only thing that's going to do that is a TV deal, an exclusive one with a major network. Because Pac-12 network, I can't tell you how many people just yesterday were fucking irritated at the fact that they couldn't find a game, or that Pac-12 network. My old news director, who absolutely just is an avid sports bettor, text me. He's like, what kind of, I'll read the text. What kind of shit network is this? Like, he had to like finagle a bunch of different like systems to try and just get Pac-12 network. And he's like, it's garbage. It's just absolute garbage. Like, again,
Amazon. Go ahead. Put us on Amazon. No, just put us on Amazon. Yeah. Let me stream the games on anywhere I am.
Last serious thing before we move on. Josh brings up a really good point. No, not this time, Shawn. This time it's really going to destroy college football. Thank you, Josh, we'll see. For some added levity.
Hey, man, we'll see. I don't think college football is going anywhere.
No, it's not. I'm not worried about college football at all. That's not my point in this. I'm just worried about the Pac-12. Larry Scott, I'm sorry.
Love the apology. Couple different things before we get to maybe the strangest topic we've ever talked about on this show. Before we do that, gotta tell you guys. I mean, we'll see where it goes. But gotta tell everybody about Burrito Express. Next time you're at their Tempe location, check out their new custom Burrito Express themed first responder shirt with all proceeds going to the Tunnels to Towers organization. They're only $25, and they're gonna hook you up with a free burrito. Get them while they're hot. Only 100 shirts available. The shirts themselves look dope, and not to mention, it's only $25, and you get a burrito. Like, are you kidding me?
I'd pay $25 for just a burrito at Burrito Express.
I'd pay. We should make some shirts for hashtag It's Okay Larry Scott, and then give all the proceeds to George Kliavkov. Maybe that'll help.
We'll see what we can do. We'll see who we can call. Maybe that's Max's next big task.
Welcome to the PHNX Sun Devil Show, brought to you by the Pac-12 Network.
Yeah, because we need to advertise them. People don't know about them enough. That's why they're not making money.
That would be absolutely incredible. While you're in Tempe, getting a burrito, getting one of those cool new shirts, before you head home, why don't you stop at Four Peaks, get yourself a brew. It is Friday. The weekend is coming. College football is here again. I don't know where you guys are going to be watching college football games, but there's probably not a better place than Four Peaks. And it's a new month, so you guys can enter to win the Toast of the Month sweepstakes to win a $50 Four Peaks gift card, a PHNX shirt of your choice, and a PHNX annual membership. Go to gophnx.com or click on the link in the show notes. You do got to be 21 or older and enjoy responsibly. Oddly enough, we've said the same sentence on the show before, but there's one guy I never want to see at Four Peaks in a bar stool ever in my entire life. And
if he's on the show as the head coach of ASU football, I'll take it.
Urban
as long
Meyer.
as he's alone.
He's never going to be alone. Ever.
Urban Meyer, you'll never walk alone.
Look, we've talked about this on the show months ago, but Dan Patrick brought it up on his show a couple days ago. There was this whole 5-minute segment about potentially seeing Urban Meyer at a new home for college football. Now, I believe Tennessee was one of the options, and the other option was none other than Arizona State. This was the conversation on the Dan Patrick Show the other day.
Arizona State.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is the wrong place for Urban Meyer to go. For a number. You ever gone out in Tempe?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, he would love it.
Yes, I have.
He'd forego a salary. No way.
Ooh, yes, Tom.
They're ready to kick Herm Edwards to the curb? That's it for Urban Meyer?
I think he's on the hot seat.
Wow.
I think he's on that hot seat.
But he plays to win the games and everything.
He plays to win the game.
So this clip that came courtesy of Dan Patrick when I saw it yesterday, honestly, I think I should apologize to Leah because we always make fun of her putting stuff out in the universe stuff. Brother, I had been saying this for 3 months, just kind of as a joke. We had all been saying this. And Toji was like, shut up, stop that. That's never going to happen. And then this comes, and I know it's not anything concrete, and I know it's just kind of throwing shit out there. But, brother, can you imagine?
Yeah, I feel like I distinctly remember a conversation we had in the offseason where we were like, it was on the show, and we were like, if Herm does get fired, who would you like to see? And I said, Urban Meyer, and then I was like, just kidding, Billy Napier. But no, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine. I can't imagine going to practice and then going to availability after, and Urban Meyer walking in the room wearing maroon and gold and being like, our starting quarterback is I don't know, Arch Manning after he's transferred.
This is so this is so selfish, but put all of the dumb shit he's done aside. You know how good this would be for us personally? We would never have a dull day on PHNX Sun Devils. I mean, we already don't have a dull day anyway. Yeah, but holy hell. Oh my God.
He's one of the greatest college football coaches and recruiters of all time.
One of the greatest quotes of all time as well.
You can't deny what he's done on college football fields. However,
you can't deny what he's done off college football fields either.
Exactly. For a program on fire, you just want to throw more gasoline on it by throwing one of the most controversial coaches in the last 2 years at the helm?
Well, the fire isn't being stoked anymore. I feel like the fire is kind of molten rubble at this point. I think it's burned down a little bit, and you're gonna, you'll get somebody will kick the rubble around a little bit, and it'll hurt. But I don't think the punishment is gonna be as bad as people think, man. The stuff we're hearing, like the NIL, kind of saved this program a little bit, which is so weird to say, but it has like the recruiting violations, as bad as they were. If you get rid of Herm this year, which again, people are talking crazy out there, by the way, after beating NIU, thinking let's get on the Herm train. That's a whole other topic. But I don't think it's going to be as bad as people think. Like, I don't think this program is on fire is as on fire as people think.
Yeah.
I
mean, I don't know, dude. We'll see what happens when the penalties come down. I have no idea if this is Herm's farewell tour or not. I think it probably should be. I think if it comes down to firing Herm or accepting, some unfortunate penalties for the program, I think Herm's got to go. I don't know. I don't know where Arizona State is in the grand scheme of like how other programs and other universities view ASU, but I think there is on a larger scale. People understand that Herm is not the greatest coach in the world. There was, I think it was College Football Reddit had quote retweeted ASU, like their football Twitter, after they won and posted the score. And it's like, if you're firm for Herm for more than 24 hours, please call your doctor. And like, it's true. Like, yes, they beat NAU, but at a certain point, you got to be like, okay, look, like it's NAU, it's Herm, whatever.
Do it against Utah.
Urban Meyer would be an upgrade in a football standpoint.
You literally couldn't have two more opposite coaches. Like one that's amazing as a football coach and terrible as a human, and then one who's a football coach and an amazing human being. Like, it would be interesting. I mean, if you get Urban Meyer, like you're successful for like a decade, maybe at most, and then the program will cease to exist essentially when he leaves because he will.
I don't even think a decade.
No, probably not. Probably like 5 years.
Guys, I was just doing some research while you guys were talking, and I was thinking about the NIL stuff and all the fun things that have happened over the past month. And one of the things that happened was the Tempe NIL Club went to go check in. They're doing great, about $2,700 raised. Go to the Tucson NIL Club. You want to see how much money they've raised? A big fat zero. Let's see how all of these guys on. I'm just gonna get it out right now.
Oh, here we go.
All of these U of A fans on Twitter talking smack. I support this team. Go support your damn team. Where's the money behind it? Nobody really believes in this program. Clearly.
Hey, in defense of Arizona fans, they probably don't know which spelling of the website they're supposed to go to. And even if they did, they probably wouldn't be able to spell it themselves. So you might need to get them like a QR code or like just a shortcut to the site, and then you might get
It's crazy. I feel like I believe in this program more than the U of A fans actually think they believe in it, because clearly they don't.
Look, I believe in Jed Fish. I don't necessarily believe in the program. I think Jed Fish is a good coach.
Yeah,
I think he's a great recruiter.
Well, they actually
the short end of the stick.
People saying that they are going to the wrong one. They actually got the URL back. It is theirs.
They got it?
Yeah, there's just no. Let's see if the wrong spelling has anything on it. Maybe people have been donating to the wrong spelling one.
That's so awesome.
Nope, the wrong spelling is not on anything. So yeah, there's $0 raised. They deserve better. They are collegiate athletes after all.
Absolutely. Unlucky. Final thoughts on Urban Meyer?
Yeah, I wanted to bring up this comment from Jacob J. If Meyer comes here, y'all should be the most streamed podcast. Well, we don't need that. We should be the most streamed podcast in Tempe anyway. So if you guys enjoy the content and you enjoyed the post-game show from last night, please do us a favor and share with all your friends. If you go to ASU currently, talk to your buddies in your dorm room, or all of your friends that watch ASU football. Love to have some more support, but appreciate you guys that are here and have been supporting us for a while.
Yeah,
I do feel like that we should acknowledge, like, in a somewhat serious note, that Urban Meyer is a bad person and probably should not be a head coach.
Yeah, a horrible human being from top.
Like obviously, I don't think he's done anything so egregious where it's like, I can't support ASU football if he gets hired here. But like, realistically, you should not want a man like that leading your program.
Yeah.
Leaving
So-
young men, period.
Yeah, I know exactly. So if he's here, I think ASU would win more football games. But like, I hope, and I think Michael Crow is beyond that. That's something I talked about on TPSP. Like, I don't think with Michael Crow's relationship with the athletic department and how little he seems to care about it, he would risk the image of the entire university for some more wins. For the football team. So I don't really think Urban has any shot.
No, he's not going to get hired, nor I don't think should he in terms of a school success standpoint. The noise wouldn't be worth it. And everyone wants to talk about how, you're just one big season away from exploding with this program. But I just don't think that's true. I think you need to build it from the ground up. And you get a coach that really, cares about the area and not just caring about winning and adding to their legacy. And you're not going to find
Get you
that.
a Jed Fish.
Jed,
We'll see what happens.
hey, look at the NIL.
I know
club.
you're watching.
We're raising more money than you guys.
We know you're watching.
I know we say that a
my
lot
God.
about people, but there's a chance that Jed Fish is actually watching.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
we'll see
That
what
is
he
very true. He's probably getting ready for SDSU tomorrow. Probably not watching.
Oh
but
yeah, that's right. They
never
play
know.
football.
They do have a football game. If for
play
some reason,
football.
if for some reason you'd actually want to go to that game to watch the Wildcats and the Aztecs, and it's a little late to get your ticket, but there's no better place to get a late ticket than on Gametime. It's the hottest new ticketing site that makes it easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets for sports, concerts, and shows. That includes Wildcats, Sun Devils, Cardinals, etc. You can save up to 60% on tickets when you buy tickets last minute. It's great for you procrastinators out there. Me and Shawn, and I imagine, actually, Shane seems like a pretty planned person, so probably not him. But if you love PHNX, then you'll love Gametime. The best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description. Again, do it through the description. Supports us and supports them. Great company. Super excited that they are on board.
$10?
What are you showing me?
$10.
$10 for EMU.
$10. You can get to the EMU game. It's one of those things where it's like you have an app like this that makes it easy, and then what else are you doing? Like, why would you not just go click the link, get a ticket on Gametime, and go support the Sun Devils? Like,
Literally, the
I
ticket
don't
of the game would
understand
be cheaper than an Uber to get there.
honestly, yeah. So if you live in Tempe, it's $10 to watch
Go do it.
people that are going to be playing professional sports next year. Probably some of them, at least a couple of them.
All right, boys.
And
enough
you're-
about Urban Meyer. Enough about Gametime. Let's talk hot or not. Leah is not here. However, we have producer Emma, who is here. Emma, do you want to hop in?
Of course.
Of course. Okay. Who is
All
hot
right.
this week?
Let's find out.
Back to back.
I feel like Totri's been on a run
Back to
recently.
back.
Yeah.
Well, but to be fair, Totri's been on a run in life. He's on a winning streak in the game of life right now, because not only did he do a great job covering the game last night, he also survived a tractor incident.
Yeah.
Also,
Transformer.
why are we calling this a tractor? It was definitely just a
was a lawnmower.
Big lawnmower.
But I think tractor makes it sound scarier. You know what I was scared of as a kid? Sorry, I just got to bring this up. The
Okay.
in the movie Cars.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
When they go
The
cow
tractor
tipping,
bull?
and then the bull. It's not a tractor. It's like a crop harvester. Fucking
Yeah.
terrifying. Rode the Cars ride in Disneyland when I was there last time. Motherfucker showed
Terrifying.
up. Hell
Yep.
no.
Motherfucker
Hell
showed up?
no.
I'm
Emma,
right
what we
there
got?
with you, Shan.
All right, you guys. First one, hot or not, turf fields.
Oh my
Not.
god. Oh my
Not.
god. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Toucher, you can go ahead first.
I kind of think they're hot.
Okay.
I kind of think they're hot. I kind of like them, bro. I think
Okay.
overall they look cleaner. Now I know there are some issues in terms of injuries. However,
Some
the turf
issues
field-
in terms of
Some
injuries.
issues. I'm there with you, Totri.
I think
Visually,
they look good.
when you go Boise or you go, what is it, Eastern Washington, when they got the red field, Boise's got the blue field, that stuff's cool. My high school got a new turf field while I was there. It was dope in theory. When you're looking at it, if there's nothing happening on the field and you're just looking at it, turf, dope. In reality, when it's being used for what it's supposed to be used for, fucking terrible. First
You
off,
never
if you
You never want to be described as hot in theory, so no.
yeah,
Not
so
hot.
but it's not. Yeah, first
Imagine
off,
a
I'm a little,
maroon and gold
If-
bro.
okay,
it would
here-
go
here.
crazy, but I don't.
Yeah, here, look.
until
it-
someone tears their ACL.
Yeah, a turf field by itself with nobody playing or doing anything athletic on it, so hot. For professional football or collegiate football, not hot. The injuries are exponentially more likely to happen on a turf field. I'm looking at you,
And
Odell Beckham.
I get all these rubber little things
he
in my
watching
shoes.
too?
That
Is
shit just
Odell?
sucks.
Odell watching?
Yeah, Odell's watching. He just texted me. He said, "What's good?" I said, "What's up?"
Oh, bet.
What up,
Can you
Odell?
ask him where he's going to sign? Does he want to be a Sun Devil this year? Since
Oh, he already told me. He already told
Oh
me.
yeah.
He's playing with the Bills.
Does he want to play with Drew Lock?
No,
Or
he wants
Geno
to play
Smith?
with Josh Allen and Von Miller.
Okay. What do we got for topic number 2?
All right, topic number 2, hot or not, the tunnel on the I-10.
Oh. I talked
first
to
off-
them about this yesterday. Hot as fuck.
Oh no, I was gonna say if you mention the I-10, it's automatically not hot. Fuck the I-10. Fuck tunnels
The
too.
tunnel
but fuck the
is
I-10.
hot as shit, bro.
Why? What about it?
Yeah, I'm confused.
What do you mean, why?
First off,
Maybe because you're
when
not
you
from
leave,
here. First off, go ahead. Finish your thought.
when you leave either end of the
tunnel.
tunnel, it's just a shit show immediately because you're either got the exit, like the exits there, and then you got it's a mess. A, B, I wear prescription sunglasses, so I can't when if I want to see. So when I'm in the tunnel, it's just pitch black, and I just gotta hope I make it to the other side.
That's a you problem.
And also,
bro.
have you ever seen that movie with I forget who's in it, but like the tunnel collapses and now they have to escape the tunnel? I think Arnold Schwarzenegger's. I don't know. Just terrifying.
Okay, let's
change
this. Let's change this because I've had personally bad experiences with the I-10 tunnel. What about
It's a monument.
freeway tunnels in general, hot or not?
No,
Hot,
I don't
hot.
like tunnels.
They're hot.
I don't like tunnels. Like tunnels
okay.
in theory are cool, but I don't like.
For me,
I don't like driving.
For me, they have to serve a purpose. Like if you're going through a mountain, so hot, unbelievably hot, really cool.
Why? Why
If
do
it's
they
a
have to serve a purpose?
I don't know because why are they there if not? Then you're
What
just
tunnel- what
For you to
is there
hold
that
your
doesn't
breath
serve a
while you're
purpose?
driving. That's the only reason they're there. It's the only reason tunnels exist. That tunnel on the I-10 is as good as the Grand Canyon.
Let's move on.
What does it even
Not hot.
mean?
Not
I
hot.
don't even
Emma,
know.
next
monument.
topic.
It's an
Next
Arizona
topic. Next
monument,
topic.
bro.
All
The
right,
I-10
next,
sucks.
Yeah.
I-10 does suck. The I-10 sucked this morning.
It took me an hour to get to work because a dump truck got in an accident on the I-10 and basically shut
Well,
it
you
down.
wouldn't have to.
A dump truck?
Go on the I-10 if
Dump
you didn't
truck.
live
And I'm
Was
not
it-
talking Kyle Lowry.
Was it me? Oh.
bro.
All right, hot or not, the HOV
I didn't
lane.
like that one.
Ooh, a lot of driving today.
hot?
Flaming hot. Flaming because nobody, I swear to God, 40% of the world doesn't know that you can use it when it's not 3 to 7 or 6 to 9.
Yes.
And it's amazing.
That's why
It's
I love
amazing.
because I do know
love
it,
it
and
so much.
I
You know what's even hotter?
I-
You know what's even hotter than the HOV lane? The HOV exits. Unbelievably hot. The most
Yeah,
flaming
the
hot
HOV
thing in the world.
the HOV exit on 3rd Street.
3rd Street.
Come
on!
Turn me up. Are you kidding me?
Talk about the HOV
beautiful.
lane, bro.
HOV lane gets me going. Especially I like in other states they have like express highways basically, which is like an HOV highway. It's like a whole separate thing. It's separated from the rest of the street. That's dope. And like you said, I love that a lot of people don't know that you can use it after 9 o'clock or after 7 or in between 9 and whatever. Like I leave my house at like 9, so I'm taking the HOV lane the whole way here, and it's just
knows what's
I'm
up.
flying past
HOV
everybody.
lane through a tunnel. Does that change at all the tunnel like experience for you if you're driving in the HOV lane, Shawn?
No, tunnels still suck. But I will say it's unless I'm the one doing it, it's fuck everybody that's a single driver in an HOV lane. Like go fuck yourself. Especially, I just hate. I just like. I don't really like. I'm not out here being like a big whatever guy, but like, I hate.
What does that mean, Shawn?
I'll explain. I don't really know what words I wanted to use there, but I hate when I'm driving like during like 5 o'clock or whatever, and I see single drivers in the HOV lane, and I'm like,
Yeah,
do
it
you
makes
think
me
you're
so mad.
above the law? Like, why
Yeah.
do you think? And because the worst part is they're not going to get in trouble 99% of the time. I'm like, you think you're better than us? Like, what is?
It makes me so mad.
Follow the rules.
It makes me so mad because they always look so entitled. One of my favorite things to do on the road is give people thumbs ups. Sometimes when they're driving by, I'll just be like, "Good job, nice job, man."
I do that. I told you the story one time, but one of the hardest things I've ever seen is a guy on a motorcycle got cut off by a car going into the HOV lane because the guy was a dick, right? And instead of like flipping him off, he just turned around and just gave him one of these. It was the most just like low key, just like go fuck yourself. I don't fuck with me. I will end you. It was dope.
Are we finished on HOV lanes and driving?
I think so.
Okay. Sounds good. If you enjoyed the content today, and as always, from us, you can follow us at PHNX_Sun Devils on Twitter. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Shane at Shane D.
Yeah.
You can follow Shawn DePaz.
Real quick before you, Shawn, to pause this out.
Wow.
We do have something cool to announce for next week.
Ooh, oh yeah, I almost forgot. We've got a watch party at Four Peaks, the Tempe location, starting at 3:30. Right, kickoff I believe is at 4:30. Right, free entry, food and drink specials, an entire watch party. We're going to be out there. A bunch of people from PHNX are going to be out there. There really isn't a better place to be than Four Peaks to watch that game. It's going to be a big time game.
Like 120-inch screen.
Yeah, they're bringing like a massive projector. It's going to be like genuinely. I think if you're unless you're going to Stillwater, like the best viewing experience for this game.
Don't even go to Stillwater.
Yeah. Did you guys see how excited Shawn and I just got about HOV lanes and HOV exits? Can you imagine how excited we get when Emory Jones takes the HOV lane 75 yards to the end zone? Come on!
And the show is on the game's on a Saturday, right? You could take the HOV lane all the way to Tempe.
Turn me, Shawn,
the fuck up.
Woo!
Join us all next week, but especially on Saturday. Go ahead. You got one more thing?
No, you just. I thought you were going to exit without giving me my.
No, I'm going to give you your time. You can follow Shawn DePaz at Shawn_DePaz.
Using the HOV lane when appropriate, as always.
We will see you next Tuesday. No show on Monday. Enjoy the holiday weekend. Enjoy college football. Again, audio show on Tuesday. But for now, peace.